Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a decent sized game called Carthage. So Carthage is a 2 to 5 player game. It's a deck building miniatures game. Plays in about 30 minutes. So what you're trying to do is each player has a little character. They have their own starting set of cards. You're going to draw 5, normal deck builder fashion. Then you're going to try to move around this little grid to try to be the last person alive. So it's like an arena deathmatch deck building style. So that's enough of the overview. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. So here is Carthage, set up for a 2-player game. I've already done some of the initial setup, so there are some scenarios in the rulebook where you can place some tiles out on the board, but I just randomly put these 4 tiles out, which are the recommended 4 starting tiles for your first game. Everybody starts with 15 armor, which is the green track up at the top, and everyone starts at 0 on favor. And each character has a set of 10 cards that belong to them. So this one, you can see the M matches the M. They each have different icons. So at the beginning we have attack, which is red, favor, which is yellow, and move, which is blue. The starting cards are all variations of that. And then we have some cards in the market, which you can't really see. They're off screen a little bit, but there'll be a buying phase where you can buy better cards. Normal deck building style. So on the player's turn, they're going to start. Oh, and before you set up, you're going to pick a place to start on the outside of the board. So red picked there, green picked here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to flip a theater card. These are going to change the environment of the game a little bit. So this is this one. This is the players with the most armor lose 2. All right, so that's in effect. We each have 15. So we both go down to 13. All right, so then we each draw 5 cards. And then the red player will draw 5. All right, red player's first. He has a little token. So these are the red player starting cards. Has some movement, some fame, no attacking, and a couple attacking. All right, so to attack, you need to be adjacent to somebody. There's no attacking here because they're too far away. So on your turn, you're going to play 1 card, and that's going to go to the next player. You're going to each play 1 card back and forth until everybody's played their 5 cards. So red is going to play this card. 2 movements, 1 fame. So they will move 1, 2, and they move their fame up by 1. Fame is how you buy cards in the next round. So then it's green player's turn. They have similar cards, almost the exact same cards as the red player. So they're going to just move 2. So they will move 1, 2. All right, so when you land on one of these tiles, you immediately get the benefit. And then once you move off of it, the tile flips over to the next round. So this player will get 1 armor. So they bump up their armor back to 14. All right, back to the red player. Now they're going to play this. That's going to give them 1 fame. And they move that down. Green player, they're going to do the same. 1 fame. Red player, he has an or an or card. He can either move or attack 1, so he's going to move 1 because he can attack. So he'll move this way. He got off of this tile, so it flips over. All right, so this player is going to play dodge. They get to move 2, and they get 1 fame or favor. So 1, 2. Oh, they cover up an attack, so they're going to attack the opposing player because they're adjacent. So green loses an armor, and then red loses an armor, and green gets a favor. Red's turn, but now green is close to red, so red's going to hit this. Okay, so what this means is you see the little white line after the attack. What this means is if your attack hits, you're going to get that bonus. So if I can hit this green player, I'll get 3 favor. And in this case, I can because he's next to me. So I play that. Green loses 1. Now red gets 3 favor. Green's turn. They're going to return the favor. This is the same thing. If I can land the punch, it's going to bump the player 1 hex away. So I hit red for 1. Red gets pushed back 1. And this tile flips over. All right, red's last card. So red has to choose favor or movement, and they're going to choose a favor because we're getting the buying phase. And then green has attack or move. They are going to move to try to get into position for the next round. All right, so that's the end of that. Now we're going to move on to the buying phase. And we're going to cash in our favor for cards going from last player to the first player. So in this case, green gets to buy first. They have 2 favor. They will buy no cards, but they can also buy things on the board. You can become first player. If you pay 1, you can lobby, which means you can take a card off the theater discard pile and put it on top. You can focus, which is basically thinning out your deck. And you can evaluate. You can look at all these cards and replace them. So this player doesn't have as much fame, so they're going to go up 1 and they want to become first player. All right, so this player has 6. They want to buy something crazy. So they're going to buy this card. 2 move plus 3 attack, and if the attack lands, they get 2 more movement. So that's going to go in your discard pile. Normal deck building rules. Then you flip a new card out. This person pays 6, so they're done. This person has 1. They can't do anything else, so they get set to 0. Game round, any of these tiles that are flipped, they flip back over. A new theater card comes out. All players immediately lose 1 armor. That's bad news. So we all go down here. And then we take 5 more cards, so which is the last 5 cards, because we have 10 cards. And then once you have to draw and you can't, you'll just shuffle, draw 5 cards. And you're going to keep doing this until 1 player is eliminated or multiple players are eliminated and you're the last person standing. So in this case, in a 2-player game, if red knocks out green, red will be the winner. Now, each player also has abilities that they can start the game with, like this. You can use it once, and then when you flip it over, then you have to pay the favor cost to flip it back over. So each player will have 3 different abilities based on the character. So these are greens, and these are reds. And I just wanted you to know that these exist. I didn't play with them, but they do exist. There are also some beasts that can come out. If a player dies, you can take control of a beast just so you're not sitting out of the game watching. And there are also some theater legends, which are basically just better cards of the market. And variations of terrain, which is going to basically give you a power throughout the game. Based on, it's going to change the board up somehow throughout the whole entire game. So just know that stuff exists. Doesn't really change the game a ton, but it does change it a little bit. So I just wanted you to be aware. So that is Carthage. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. So that was Carthage. And you might be surprised that I'm actually doing this review because it has minis in it. But I do really enjoy deck building. So yeah, I was surprised. I actually kind of dug this game. It was a little too like combat-y, but I mean, that's just my own personal preference. But yeah, it's fun. You're buying cards through normal deck building style by acquiring fame in the arena. And then you're using those newly acquired cards to either get more fame, do some movements, help you take out your opponents quicker, just other special powers that you can get in the cards. There are a couple of expansions you can throw in, like the Theater Legends. There are also some special player powers that each character can have that you can use. And then once you use it, you have to pay fame to refresh it. There's also some different terrain setups, so you flip a random card and then whatever happens could really cause the board to change throughout. Some of those were mentioned a little bit in the overview, but I didn't go through the playthrough because they just add extra things and the gameplay doesn't change a ton. So yeah, this is a fun game. I only played it 2 players and I didn't get to experience it at higher player counts, but I'm assuming it's all the same. The board's going to get a little tighter because there's more players. I actually think the minis are cool. They're not even necessary. You could just throw a little red cube out there and it would be just as fine, but something about an arena with some gladiators, it makes sense. So I'll give it a pass this time. So yeah, that was Carthage from SAS Creative. And I highly enjoyed this game. And I think you guys should go check it out if you're interested at all in deck building or miniatures, tactical skirmish games, because it's kind of a mixture of those two. And if you find this review is helpful and something that you would enjoy, I say go check it out. Thanks. See ya.